Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said?
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
You know?
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala, too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo like was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Baby, grab your popcorn and hold on to your pearls because Hollywood is cracking. Katt Williams, Terrence Howard, and Joe Rogan just tore the lid off a scandal so twisted, even Elon Musk jumped in with a side eye. Yes, Elon. And apparently some high-profile white celebs are already packing their Louis Vuitton bags and plotting international exits. And no, this ain't just some internet rumor mill fluff. This mess is based on whispers from sources neck deep in the drama, and the internet? Oh, it's on fire. But here's the part that'll make your jaw drop. Insiders are saying Diddy, now locked up, is ready to talk, ready to snitch, ready to throw the entire industry under the bus if it means saving himself. Joe Rogan, Katt, and Terrence, they all say if Diddy starts naming names, some of the biggest stars in Hollywood better lawyer up or lay low. And y'all, out of all the names, Steve Harvey just stumbled into this mess. Yep, your wholesome Family Feud uncle Steve. Apparently, as soon as Steve got wind of Diddy's indictment, he ghosted faster than a bad Tinder date. Folks say he hopped on the first flight out of the country and started scrubbing his socials like they were covered in bleach. Gone were any posts linking him to Diddy, including an old tweet from 2017 praising him for doing good for the kids. Oh, the irony. But it gets even darker. Back in the day, Steve was living it up with Diddy in Italy, sipping espresso and smiling for paparazzi alongside Diddy and Lori Harvey, who, might I remind you, had just dumped Diddy's son only to start dating Diddy himself. Messy doesn't even begin to cover that. And here's the creepiest part. People started pulling up photos of Lori with white nail polish. Sounds harmless, right? Not when you know what Cassie said in her lawsuit. She claimed Diddy made every woman wear white nails during his sick and twisted freak-off parties. The white polish, according to her, was to make certain things pop in the disturbing videos he filmed. Just no words. Even Young Miami and Diddy's mom were seen with the same white polish. So now people are asking, did Steve not notice anything? Or did he play dumb to stay close to the power and perks of Diddy's empire? Because remember, at that time, Diddy was sitting on billionaire status, running Revolt TV, and rubbing shoulders with every Hollywood heavyweight. And now it's all coming undone. Let's move on to someone else acting real suspicious, Meek Mill. Ever since Diddy got arrested, Meek's been quieter than a mouse in church. And that's weird, because let's not forget, Meek and Diddy had a thing. Remember that viral pool clip? Meek calling Diddy daddy and saying he loved him? We used to laugh, but now that video feels like a cry for help. When the lawsuits started hitting and big names were being dragged through the mud, Meek vanished. Then Lil Rod, the man suing Diddy, dropped a bombshell, claiming that Diddy was bending Meek Mill and handing him favors in return. Suddenly, Meek's tweeting strange stuff from Africa, of all places. One tweet said he'd drop $100,000, 0 cents to anyone who could tell him who was linking him to Diddy. Y'all, that ain't damage control, that's panic. And rumor has it, Meek might be on some footage the feds scooped up. If that's true, we're about to see a full-blown unraveling. Now, let's talk about someone else who's shaking in his boots, Usher. Usher's history with Diddy goes way back, like back to when he was 13 years old. He was reportedly part of Diddy's so-called flavor camp. That alone raises 1,000 red flags. Remember when Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, claimed Diddy once sent Usher to the hospital, bleeding from you-know-where? Yep, that allegation never left people's minds. And then there's that Kevin Hart interview where Diddy joked about waking up in bed with Usher. Back then, people laughed. Now, Nobody's laughing.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not gonna speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing some programs, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when people say, yo, man, I don't F with them, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent her to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the, and that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, you know, that's just something that I heard.
And just like that, if Usher's name shows up anywhere in this investigation, he better have his legal team on speed dial, because the receipts, they're coming.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older.
Now, buckle up for this one. Jay-Z is no stranger to Diddy's world. They've done business, thrown parties, and shared secrets. But things got real suspicious when people started talking about a woman named Kathy White, allegedly Jay-Z's side chick who reportedly passed away after getting pregnant by him. That rumor has been whispered about for years. But now people are saying Diddy might have proof. Tapes, texts, or worse. And Jay's problems don't stop there. Remember that lawsuit filed a few months back? Some anonymous woman accused both Diddy and Jay-Z of assaulting her after the 2000 VMAs. She claimed it happened at a private NYC party, but when the case went to court, it fell apart. Her dad, who she said picked her up after the incident, testified that none of that happened. Still, the internet exploded. She also said she spoke to Benji Madden at the party, but Madden clapped back hard, saying he wasn't even in NYC. The story had more holes than a sponge, so the judge tossed it. But the drama? It only spread further. Jaguar Wright came for Jay-Z's throat, calling him the devil. Her words.
I have 3 right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about with him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years.
And now the talk is, if Diddy has anything linking Jay-Z to those freak-off parties, it's game over.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It's a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
Speaking of freaky, remember that video of Diddy singing to French Montana all oiled up? Used to be a joke, but now that the feds found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil at Diddy's home, not funny anymore, just disturbing. Next on the chopping block, Jennifer Lopez. Oh yes, J-Lo is being dragged back into the mess, and not for some Vegas residency. We're talking about the 2000 nightclub shooting involving rappers Shine and Diddy. You know, the one that sent Shine to prison? Well, word is J-Lo was allegedly carrying the weapon that night, right in her purse. And when it came time to testify, insiders claim J-Lo lied to the grand jury to protect herself and Diddy. That's according to Nata Rubin, one of the women who was injured in that very club. She says J-Lo's been lying all these years and is even willing to get the bullet fragments removed from her face just to prove it.
Irony is, there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury. as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened.
She wants justice, and she wants it now. If this gets reopened, J-Lo's glamorous red carpet days could turn into orange jumpsuit ones. It's that serious, but baby, that's not even the craziest part. Let's talk about the curveball, white celebrities. Yup. Katt Williams and Terrence Howard didn't just come for hip-hop royalty, they started naming names across racial lines, and suddenly all these big names started disappearing faster than a PR team can type no comment.
Those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Even Elon Musk tossed a grenade into the convo, reposting a tweet calling out Ellen DeGeneres, who's been laying low since the Diddy drama exploded. But baby, she's not just laying low. Ellen practically vanished. No more TV appearances, no awkward dancing clips, nada. New photos show her hiding out at some random pub in England, rocking a whole new look. We're talking different haircut, different vibe, different energy. And when pressed, Ellen claimed she just wanted to get away from the madness. Girl, please, the internet's not buying it. People think Ellen's on the run, and her connection to Diddy, deep. Diddy was on her show countless times, always hinting at crazy nights they couldn't talk about. And remember that 2016 birthday tweet? She called him Cuddles McNuggles stuff and wrote, "Y'all don't need to know why." We kind of do now.
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to
No,
any
well,
of them.
is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
On top of that, former Ellen staffers have long accused her of running the most toxic set in Hollywood. And now rumors are flying that 2 of her ex-partners passed under suspicious circumstances. Are those dots really just coincidence, or is something being covered up? As if that weren't enough, Joe Rogan laid the groundwork, and Katt Williams cranked up the heat. For years, folks thought Katt was just unhinged, but now everyone's realizing maybe he was the first one telling the truth. Maybe he was just ahead of his time.
Big Dick Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
You'll never believe who's next. Leonardo DiCaprio? As soon as Diddy's empire began collapsing, Leo was caught hopping on a jet to Italy with his new 25-year-old flavor of the month, and sure, he claimed it was just a vacation, but the timing? Way too convenient. Then people dug up old photos from 1998, showing Leo chilling at Diddy's East Hampton mansion, living his best yacht life. Suddenly, people are asking, how deep was their friendship really?
You know, I think part of why Kamala's getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Word is, in the early 2000s, Leo was a regular at Diddy's infamous white parties, the same ones now being described as disturbing and possibly illegal.
Who's the person that's number 1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Yes, without a doubt, you are.
And just when the internet started connecting dots, Leo's team came out guns blazing, saying they hadn't spoken in years. Cleanup mode much? Now get this. Ashton Kutcher's name started sliding into the conversation too. During the MTV era, Ashton and Diddy were tight. They even ran the New York Marathon together. Then there's that Hot Ones interview where Ashton got real awkward when asked about Diddy's parties.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends. And we used to just hang out, watch football together.
He laughed nervously and said he had stories, but couldn't tell them. Wonder why? You don't stay quiet like that unless the truth is way darker than you're ready to admit. And then Terrence Howard dropped the ultimate bomb on the PBD podcast. This man didn't sugarcoat anything. He said Diddy approached him under the guise of business, acting gigs, music collabs, but it was all a smokescreen. According to Terrence, Diddy wasn't looking for a co-star. He was trying to smash. His own assistant had to pull him aside and say, he's trying to smash you, period.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to...
Come on now, dog.
That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
Come on, man.
Now I get...
Terrence backed off immediately, shut it all down, and never looked back. But he didn't stop there. He exposed a pattern in Hollywood, one that's been running for decades. According to him, certain powerful producers use their status to prey on men. And if you resist, you get blacklisted. Talent doesn't matter anymore, compliance does.
So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you punch them in the mouth, knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
And guess who echoed every single word? Katt Williams. He revealed he turned down 4 $50 million 0-cent offers because they came with strings attached. Strings that led to hotel rooms, hidden cameras, and compromised souls. When Katt said he was protecting his virgin hole, he wasn't joking. That was real.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right.
Katt warned folks, chasing fame without knowing the real cost is a devil's deal. He said Diddy tried sliding in multiple times and he shut it down every single time.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Let's get into the dress agenda. That ugly, whispered about Hollywood secret where black male actors are allegedly asked to wear dresses in order to break into the industry. Katt, Terrence Howard, and even Dave Chappelle have called it out. Terrence claimed that's why he was booted from Iron Man. Not money, not contracts, because he refused to fit the mold. He didn't want to be watered down or feminized to make others comfortable. Katt had the same story. He said Martin Lawrence tried to get him in a dress for Big Mama's house. He told Martin, I ain't the one. Kevin once said he'd never wear a dress either, until he showed up on SNL in a dress. Then boom, his career skyrocketed. Katt didn't think that was a coincidence. He called it what it was, compliance for clout. Meanwhile, he walked away from millions to keep his soul. Even Dave Chappelle told Oprah they tried to get him in a dress too. He said no. And next thing you know, he vanished to Africa. Now the whispers are screamed. Suddenly, everyone wants to act like they were never close to Diddy. But come on. Hollywood's been obsessed with Diddy's parties for decades. And with that May 2025 trial creeping up, ooh, baby, this isn't just a scandal. This is the collapse of an empire. And now everyone's left wondering, who's next? So what do you think about this total industry unraveling? Drop those thoughts in the comments. And if you're here for the raw, unfiltered truth, not the watered down, PR polished nonsense, hit that like, smash that subscribe, share with your messy friends, and jump to the next video. Because if this is how it starts, just imagine how it ends.